Hello, comrade. It is me. It is Dimitri, and today we are here to talk about ReZero. I'm here with my guest today, Bartholomew.
Bartholomew, I am the best slave, y'all.
Yep, this is the ReZero podcast. Welcome, everybody.
Definitely not one
Just a reminder for everybody who's watching. In July, there will be a special, specifically July the 15th. Or something like that. It's close to the 15th. Let's just go ahead and check that. It was either 15th or the 14th of July. It was the 16th of July. It's the 16th of July. We will be having a special episode where we talk about part 1 of the ReZero dub with a special guest yet to be announced. And we review Ayamatsu If.
I was just thinking as well, like, the Blu-ray kind of comes out later in the UK than the US. Like someone in Discord was saying, it comes out like I think maybe next week or something there, or maybe in the next few days. And it doesn't. I'm not going to get mine until like the 30th of June.
Yeah, it comes out the 25th here in the Americas.
Yeah, someone said they got it. Going to get it earlier, but I could be mistaken.
Also, Amelia is the best girl in Rim Sucks Big Time. I don't know why that's not edited out yet. Where's Third Guy to edit that out? Do we have like someone that can edit that out for us? We are the best ReZero podcast on the internet.
There you go. I edited for you.
Oh, okay. Now I feel like it's missing something.
Yeah, maybe I have to add something.
It doesn't feel right to me. Micah is love. That's.
We should do a podcast of just us like editing Google documents or making notes for the podcast. That would probably be like more entertaining than the podcast itself.
I don't know what you're talking about. That'd be incredibly boring.
It'd be great.
So we're talking about Chapter 30 today, Incongruities on the Long Road Back Home. This chapter starts off with some things. It's basically like what happened. This whole chapter, in my opinion, is kind of boring.
Yeah, it was very
we'll talk about that later.
One note, I guess. It didn't cover.
It's basically kind of just like retreading.
Yeah, I was about those exact words, retreading old ground. But there was a few interesting things I picked up on. But carry on.
Yeah. Well, Chapter 30 deals with Amelia's feelings and figuring out how to move forward, knowing that she will fail. Amelia, in the beginning of the chapter, asks Subaru not to go with her to the trials, then asks him to believe in her, instead of looking down on her. Then, just as you think they were going to kiss, they don't. That's all. The rest of the chapter is a bunch of talking on the way back to the mansion.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait for that chapter 69 to get that Amelia X Subaru kiss.
Can we just talk about the almost kiss?
Yeah, sure.
Why did they not kiss?
I don't know. It's been so long since I read this. I don't actually remember the scene.
It's been 2 months in real time. 2 months is enough already for like anal at that point. Let's go in, Subaru.
Yeah, I think this
is a terrible podcast.
Here's the thing: like the more innocent the girl, the more down she is for the dirty stuff. It's a true and tested fact.
Oh.
Acclaimed by me.
You think she'll have like, so she has like. So like she'll have PTSD flashbacks?
Maybe. See, I have the theory that Amelia actually has a collection of futa hentai, and that she
Amelia is into futa,
and that she lent them to Roswell, and that is Roswell's gospel.
Roswell is into futa?
Well, have you seen?
God, this is turning the whole series on its head.
have you seen the way he dresses?
Garfield, is this a spoiler you're dropping on us?
Maybe.
You're not reading ahead, are you?
Well, maybe.
Because I think you may be right.
Yeah, I am very knowledgeable when it comes to this stuff. I think I must be right.
Amelia, what's your favorite thing in the world? Girls with big dicks. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not attracted to you anymore, Amelia. I'll fuck off somewhere.
Yeah, I'll go and I'll go romance Petra or someone.
I have more luck with Petra than she's like 12.
Yeah, maybe if she tries to call the police, maybe I'll rub it off as a joke and move on to Frederica instead.
Yeah, I was about to say, move on to Frederica. She's kind of tall.
Yeah, I like Frederica's design. She's very attractive.
Wow.
That could just be more of a personal thing, but I think she looks very nice.
Wow, Garfield. Bringing in personal opinions into this podcast. We are only about subjective facts.
She's got a subjective fact.
Objective, not subjective. I need to reword these things.
It's an objective fact that she has a very nice figure, though. 100% would bang.
Anyways, I have my one singular note.
You really didn't like this chapter, huh?
I didn't like this chapter, so let's talk about my one singular note. So, once again, I do not like the way Amelia and Subaru talk to each other. It's kind of cringy to me. It's frustrating. It's like it's a formula where Subaru says something and Subaru then replies with some lighthearted response. I have the perfect example. So, I'll be in the role of Amelia and Subaru, so I'll try to be doing my best. I'd prefer if you don't go. Understood, no problem. Until Ameliaton settles down, I will just focus on savoring the air Ameliaton breathes, so don't worry. I really don't like the sound of that, but stay here. And then there's some notes here that someone added. Now I'm really fucking confused.
I'm struggling how to respond to that one, but mainly because of the accents you put on it. But let's hear.
Well, it also happens later on. So with Otto and Subaru, it's the same thing.
The Otto dynamic does. It is like a repetitive dynamic. But I have more leniency when it comes to like the relationship between like Amelia and Subaru because of what they're like.
Because you like Amelia. Because you like Amelia.
I may be a bit biased in that case, but I know what you mean with Otto though. Like I love like the Subaru and Otto banter, but I feel like we've had enough of it in rapid succession now that I feel like we can go away from it like for a bit now.
Also, apparently I have more notes. I wrote a Blend-S fanfic about Micah x Lynn, and I'm going to try and get it published because Lolly Yuri is greater than 3.
I believe that's less than 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not good at math.
Here's the thing as well. So it's... I get what you mean with like the Subaru and Otto thing. I like it, but that it's at a point now where we've had Arc 4 has an incredibly long setup, and so a lot of it kind of retreads old ground. It kind of it tries to sink into you and like makes you remember the plot points. So
right.
Because
it's the dialogue itself to me is a little on the repetitious side at times, and it's already dialogue that I've had problems with throughout this podcast where I've talked about, and it keeps popping up, and I don't know why. It may be a translation thing, it may be a Japanese way of writing or something like that. But
no, I think it's just like Subaru is a very peculiar character. He's not necessarily. What's the word I'm looking for people who like he's not necessarily socially anxious, but I'm starting to put this on.
He's just quick to agree on stuff, and he's quick to like shove. And it's not necessarily a problem, but it's kind of like, think of it this way, but it's like he's quick to shove something to the side and kind of like avoid that thing.
He overlooks like a lot of things. Like he doesn't realize like someone will say something important and like he fails to grasp like the importance of it like a lot of the time until like other pieces of the puzzle reveal itself. Then he suddenly has this eureka, but like a light bulb like goes on inside his head. It's that was important. I should have paid attention then, like sort of thing. But with Otto though, I know what you mean. It has gotten a little stale now. Like I really like the Subaru Otto character dynamic, but we need to take a break from this, and we're going to take a break from it soon. Minor spoiler: when we next get back to the mansion, things are going to get a little crazy from here on in, and we're not going to have like the light-hearted banter or like recaps like so much at all. It's going to the pace is going to pick up like incredibly. So that element is going to disappear. But with regards to like Subaru and Amelia, they're kind of like gentle souls. Subaru and Amelia, they interact differently to like how other people interact. They're not. I'd say the word like normal with their social interactions, but they're a bit. They are peculiar in the way they interact, and I think that you know it's the only way
honestly,
I think they know how to. That they're not right as people. They're very. I don't know if broken is the right word, but they're not. There's something like not right with how they are as people.
That's a good thing you bring up, because the way like I would compare it is like when you're in a bad relationship, but it's not, you don't yell at each other or anything,
No.
but like all of your dialogue together is basically just inside jokes and just like the same thing you say to each other. Like it's a routine relationship.
Yeah.
It's there to just make you feel comfortable. That's kind of the way Subaru and Amelia are to me at times.
Yeah, that is very much the way it's going. And as of yet, we've Subaru has like had quite a bit of development as of like the latest chapters, like chapter 75 through like 84. He's come to sort of quite like a realization of sorts, but I don't know if he's reflected like on that aspect of like his relationship with like Amelia. Like there are elements of his relationship with Amelia he's probably reevaluated now, but I don't know if he's taken that aspect into consideration, of maybe that would be like a stage for development later on down the line. Like I really hope it is, because that would be great. As of yet, they haven't.
Well, there is a big update in the Subaru Amelia relationship, and I'm glad to report it here to you all. Can I ask you, Garfield, to be Amelia in this situation, and can I be Subaru?
Of course, Subaru can.
Nothing at all. I was just thinking, Amelia Ton's eyelashes are so long and cute. I kind of want to eat them.
Oh, are we reading something?
Yes, we're reading.
Oh, can you
the thing below?
Can you highlight it for me? I have no idea where we are. Oh, okay. Start again.
Nothing at all. I was just thinking, Amelia Ton's eyelashes are so long and cute. I just want to eat them.
Subaru, you keep saying you want to eat my hair, eat my eyelashes, or lick my cheeks. Are you into that sort of thing?
Where I come from, the greatest possible expression of love, you know?
Interesting.
So, I have a question about this whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Eating eyelashes.
Is there a fetish for eating hair?
I've heard of it in cases of depression, which kind of fits into his character. That now that like, eating eyelashes is like it's actually like.
But like eating another person's hair.
I think that's just Subaru being a bit pervy and weird. You know.
Oh, Amelia, I just want all of your hair in my mouth.
Yeah, if we had mayonnaise in this universe, yeah, well, you know what we'd be doing with that.
I don't get it. I didn't. It seems like Japan sometimes makes up a lot of fetishes that confuse me.
They do have some weird. That's kind of what I like about it.
Eating eyelashes? What?
I kind of get eating your own eyelashes, but not,
licking people.
If you're depressed,
I think licking people is pretty normal in terms of the fetish thing.
Yeah.
But eating hair and eyelashes?
Maybe they want to become one, and because this
Amelia, I need you to do something for me. I need you to eat my hair.
Because Topei Nagatsuki doesn't want this to become R-rated. They find other ways for them to become one, such as Subaru drinking the Donna tea.
You'd get hair stuck in your mouth. What the fuck? Why would you want that?
Well, maybe it's like spaghetti. It's like dreadlocks.
It is. And first of all, that's impossible for your stomach to digest.
Oh,
almost.
I don't know. Spaghetti hair tastes pretty good. You not tried it?
Garfield, are you saying you eat hair?
Only spaghetti hair.
Hair? What the?
Of the people I decapitate, put their heads on sticks and march them outside.
Why would you tell us this? Why would you tell us you're a murderer? This is going on YouTube.
Oh, I'm pretty open about my life. Come and get me, Popo.
How are you not caught yet?
So, should I go on to one of my notes, or if you got anything else?
Well, I have a quote to read apparently.
Oh yeah, I did put a quote in for you. I forgot about that.
And you know what's weird is when I was reading this, I said, Garfield's gonna make me quote this. And I fucking knew it.
It's like an ongoing. I don't know if gag is the right word, but every episode I need to make you quote at least something.
It's ongoing punishment.
Yeah.
For my poor throat.
And also making you read out those edits I put in the Google Doc. Not normally about Micah.
That just hurts my feelings.
I know you're a secret Blind S fan, down to the core.
Wow. Wow, that's an awful big presumption to make about me.
It's not a presumption. I know these things.
Oh wow! Oh,
we share a mind. You see.
That's true. We are one. We are one of the same person. So to state the obvious, Amelia Samuel
Nice.
So, to state the obvious, Amelia Summer will be challenging the trials tonight, yeah?
God, that's straight mush.
Gonna sing death metal.
So I guess I guess I'll get into my my essay of notes now. Oh Jesus Christ, there's too many. I don't know how I make so many notes for such a recappy chapter, but
I remember you going like, "There's nothing that really." Yeah, you're right, Ben. There's nothing really that happens in this chapter, and you go, "I think I made like 20 pages of notes for this one, though."
God, I'm a bit of I'm a basket case, aren't I? But so the first thing I guess I'm going to delve into is like the first paragraph. We get some narration to explain like the very small time skip. It kind of explains they released the villagers like the same as last time, not much deviated from the norm there. But throughout like the last two chapters, like we've seen like nothing, well, not necessarily nothing, but we've seen like how different things are this time around, and almost like there was one like paragraph that describes like how happy like the people of the sanctuary were, apart from obviously our neighborhood Garbo. And like I think we discussed this last week or the week before. It's like a possibility of like how maybe the trials or like the displeasure of the sanctuary was like an entire like fabrication to begin with. And like Super even like thinks of this himself. There's a bit of narration in one of the chapters where he actually thinks this. So it's not like it's something that came out of nowhere. And I'm just curious, like, where did it become a problem again from like what happened last chapter? And like it's gotten to the point we have to evacuate it again when everyone was kind of hunky dory.
That's just maybe the natural of things. Like it just may be one of those things where I think maybe that just has to happen.
We'll see.
Somehow.
It's kind of like we've had like a big revelation in chapter like 83 or 84 with Roswell, and it gives some like perspective to what's going on there.
Spoilers.
Like yeah.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. I won't say what it was, but it doesn't give everything, but it gives like a big perspective change, which is very interesting.
Did I echo when I said spoilers right there?
Spoilers.
I gotta go low for spoilers.
Yeah, it's just an interesting thing to consider. The more I read it, the more it does feel like it's a fabrication. But we'll see.
It could be. It could be like, you know, where it's one of those things where it's like maybe not enough has changed in the timeline to where it's still it happens, or maybe it's just the thing that's been planned out, and
they're all playing into.
It's one of those things where
puppeteers.
Right. It's a Garfield. It's a Roswell thing. It's not my thing. What are you talking about?
Fucking Poncho, mate. Fucking Mega. Fucking Liam Gallagher. Wait, no, I'm fucking Garfield. I'm not Liam Gallagher. Fucking Deck Liam Gallagher. Fucking thinks he rock and roll side. I know fucking shit. Um, um, so do you feel like did you think this chapter that Garfield felt like some sort of tyrannical leader, like he was like Putin, like he's going to recreate the Soviet Union
Not Vladimir
with his
Putin.
dictatorship, and like the way where he just came across this chapter, he's acting like mega. I don't know if high and mighty is the right word, but
He's acting fucking mega.
yeah, he's fucking mega, mate. Anyone who doesn't know Oasis or the memes associated with it are going to think we're total weirdos at this point. But
or just really British.
yeah, it kind of makes me wonder, like,
I can speak a little bit of British.
oh, we better British have a cup of Devon. Wee, what?
Tea and crumpets.
I don't really like hot drinks at all. I don't like tea or coffee at all. I like hot chocolate when it's cold, but.
Wow, racist.
But the thing about Garfield, it got me like kind of thinking, like, does he have like any real importance to the sanctuary? Other, like, we already know he's like kind of strong, and like, is it just to keep people in check? Like the people scared of him? Like, I wouldn't be surprised. But like Granny Louise, Lubo, Lars Ulrich, as we joked last time.
Yes.
Granny Luz is now the drummer of Metallica. So she's like meant to be like the head honcho of like the sanctuary, but we already kind of established last week that she's kind of she's like under Roswell's thumb, like essentially. But like even when it comes to Garfield, she never really challenges him. Like once he's kind of decided on something, like. But when it's something serious, I guess, like she never really does anything to challenge him. But when it comes to something like, I guess, minor, like in last chapter when Garfield was kind of being like disrespectful to his elders, and that was kind of like played off as a gag more than anything serious. And I'm curious why she like lets him run rampant all the time. And it got me thinking to what I always hear this about like Garfield's backstory and like how much of a tearjerker it allegedly is. I still haven't got to that point in the web novel yet, but I do wonder if it's some sort of pity coming from Luz, giving him more leeway than she probably should.
Not knowing anything about the backstory at all, that's kind of how I always thought it was. That was the kind of the relationship they had is where Louise
Lars Ulrich, not Louise.
Yeah, Lars Ulrich. He fucking left the band.
What a cunt.
Yeah, fuck Jason Newsted. That's just like, I feel like that's also like Garfield's like, Garfield is so strong, so she doesn't really lose too much. Like she's still in control. The people that need to be in control are still there. It's just Garfield is. It's not bad to have Garfield in that position, right? It's not going to hurt anything.
So if Garfield started rebellion and he tried to take on Roswell, who do you think would win?
Oh, fuck! It's got to be Roswell.
Yeah, I'm.
We don't know what he has. He probably has like a nuclear bomb or something.
There's something that happens in like chapter 60 something between like Garfield and Roswell, and it makes me want to talk about it, but spoilers. I really can't go into it. But if anyone's read ahead, leave a comment in the discussion or something, and maybe I'll engage. Maybe not.
Well, maybe don't do that.
Oh yeah, because your
comments are still public.
Yeah, because you'll be the one who has to read them. They'll be like, hey Garfield, there's this guy talking about spoilers, and now I've just been spoiled on the whole of Arc 4. Thanks a lot, you asshole.
Hey Garfield, apparently Garfield's a robot now. I didn't know that. Thanks, Garfield.
Something else as well. I feel like things like surrounding Amelia like need to change like in a big way. And like there's even a bit of narration where it goes like Subaru will have to take actions to create some drastic changes in the environment around her. And it kind of floats back to this idea that we've talked about like multiple times of like Subaru wanted to do for Amelia what Rem did for him. And I feel like he's going to need to do that like and a lot more. Like if Amelia's going to have any hope of passing the trials, because like, as it stands, like she's got like no hope at all. Like I mean, at least at this juncture in time. But like it's the sort of thing.
And this is how he does it.
Yeah, and it's like
he walks up to her and he says, "Amelia's on.
and
Let's fuck."
but and like the more you progress through like Arc 4 as well, you just get like a glimpse of like how badly like Amelia needs saving, and I almost think like maybe it's going to be somewhat like maybe it won't even be Subaru or Amelia who takes the trials in the end. Maybe it'll be like they'll find another way around, or maybe someone else will take the trials instead. Maybe someone else has the power to take the trials that we just don't know about. We already have that.
Maybe it'll be Chad Too Bad.
Okay, yeah. But like we already had that thing in previous chapters where Lars Ulrich has given contradictory statements of whether they have or have not like taken the trials. So like maybe someone else can take the trials. Like who knows? Even though they say it's part of the contract that no one there can, maybe there's someone who's got like an exception to
Rim
that.
comes back with a penis and sexually heals Amelia with her penis.
Well, I never knew Ram was a footer, but I'm sure Bill would be ecstatic to hear this. I can't wait.
He'd revel.
He's going to write he wrote a Fate fanfic earlier, I think. So
I don't want to know. I don't even want to know. Don't tell me.
But going back to the train of thought about Amelia, it kind of there's some concept that follows kind of on for that. Like, I don't think Amelia necessarily needs to overcome her past in order to pass the trial. She just needs to like find an answer or come to a decision. Do you remember when actually Donna was like talking to Subaru after like he finished the first trial? It's not necessarily about overcoming it. It's about, I guess, like finding an answer. And she even said like running away would be like a suitable answer. So if Amelia wants to run away, that could solve it. Although I have a feeling that the narrative wouldn't allow for such a thing.
I've been thinking about this, and here's what I think. And I think this is a good way to do it. I think Amelia, at some point, through someone talking to her and giving her advice, some wise person, and I definitely don't think it shouldn't be Subaru or anybody else. It should be someone, it should be through accumulation of experiences on her own, and without people's help, and through someone maybe that's not been introduced yet, I don't know, but someone who's very wise and like a martial arts master, and he needs to be like, Amelia, your past doesn't dictate who you are necessarily. You can still come back from that, and I think that something like that, right?
Here's the thing, though.
And Amelia should just be like, you're right. You know what? You're fucking right. I shouldn't. This thing was shitty. It was a terrible thing. I did all that. I'm a murderer. I committed genocide. I realize this, but there's a point where I have to move on, and now is the point where I have to move on. And I think she's just like, I don't like. I live with this.
Here's the thing: is
I accept what I did.
I feel like who's gonna be that though? Like I feel like at the moment Subaru's
penis.
Yeah, Amelia really wants that D. She was pretty much gagging for it in this chapter, but she kind of feels like Subaru is almost like her last anchor in a way. Like Puck, who was like her pillar is just gone. And like without a doubt, that's Roswell. I feel like it must be Roswell. I don't know what else it would be. Other than him wanting to hide from Echidonna for some weird reason. But I feel like at the moment Subaru is like her last anchor, and based on like the prejudices that the witches, half out or just like demi-humans in general get, there's not going to be anyone to like give her that advice or support. Like I feel like at the moment it can really only be Subaru. I don't know. I don't think at the moment there's anyone other than Subaru who can sort of like deliver that to her.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna have to be a martial arts master. That's what.
So is Puck's gonna come back as a black belt? It's gonna save Amiria, Jan.
Maybe, maybe. It could be like, from the guy from the Karate Kid. What's his name?
Fuck, I haven't.
You know,
It's been. I saw it.
Mr. Mia
I don't know, I
something.
saw the remake. I think maybe when I was still in school, but I really don't remember it all that well.
Mr. Mia something. It's something. I don't know. Someone in the comments will have an answer for us. Miwata, Mia, Yo, Taro, Miodora.
To save this pain, I'm gonna Google it.
Mr. Miwata, Mr. something.
Is it the main character kid? You mean, or
No, the master
uh,
in the original.
Mr. Keisuke Miyagi? Maybe.
Mr. Miyagi, maybe. Doesn't sound right, but could be.
Yeah, Mr. Miyagi.
Mr. Miyagi.
Or
Yeah, Mr. Miyagi.
Miyagi.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so my next note is, I guess, it's almost like a point of discussion. So I'll read out, like I've got like a massive like wall of text here in my notes. So I guess I'll get through that and then we can have like a discussion maybe. But so I feel like Amelia's self-worth is even lower than Subaru's. So I've got like a
I agree with that. Just starting off, I totally agree with that.
So I've got like a few quotes and like narration and a few other bits I want to delve into. But first of all, so there's like a quote from Subaru. He says, "But she wouldn't breathe a word of complaint or even think of giving up. That's just like Amelia Tan." And this is kind of like relatively characteristic of Amelia. But the thing I think about this is like, why is this like characteristic of her? Like, why will she not speak up? Like, I feel like it goes beyond something being just being shy or timid. It's like more deeply rooted in like the very core of her being, in a sense. Like, Amelia is like a very meek character. We see this at the royal selection, like where she won't defend herself at all, and it's become like a lot more prominent here in the sanctuary. Like it was definitely hinted at, like previously, but it's really come to the surface here, I think. And I think, like, aside like from seeing her past in the trials, it's probably like, I feel like it might be due to her like the way she sees herself. Like, I think she sees like her only purpose in life is like a king's candidate and nothing else. I think like when Roswell, whatever happened, whatever Roswell said, like I feel like maybe she was at the bottom of like despair, and Roswell gave her a chance to do something, and she just latched onto it because that's all she's got. And well, like she is like a king's candidate, and she realizes there's like maybe she realizes deep down she's like a puppet of Roswell. Maybe she feels like she's like so ashamed of herself she can't bring herself to do anything. Like there's even like a quote where like or a bit of narration rather. So like in front of Garfield's provocative question, Amelia hid away that momentary emotion within her eyes and firmly answered, "Of course I will." Like, you know, just trying to live up to, you know, that one sort of lifeline that's sort of been given to her. Here's the thing as well, like I feel like this is probably the first time that she's ever faced like a challenge like this, with the exception, you know, when she actually froze to the forest. But like this is like the first chance for her to like really show her courage. Like nothing really happened at like the royal selection thing. It was more just like a meeting thing where they declared like who the candidates were, sort of thing. Nothing really, like no one really proved anything apart from Subaru proved how much of a brat he was, but like amongst other things. But this is like her first chance she has to like really show her courage, and she may see it as like possibly like a path to redemption. And I feel like she's potentially going to chase this path like just until she runs herself into the ground, pretty much. That's kind of my thought line with that.
I like the first part of this very much, and well, I like the whole thing, but more specifically the first part, because why is she so meek? Why is she why do you think this way about her? And I think the answer for that is not just because of Roswell or anything like that, or where she was before. Maybe it had to do with who raised her. Maybe it had to do with her upbringing.
Oh, that's very.
Maybe she wasn't a child who people liked.
I know someone who raised
they gave a lot of grief to her.
I know a minor spoiler of who who raised her. And now that you think about it, that puts it in a big that's a big perspective thing. Now that you've mentioned that, now that I've thought, fuck, of course, now it makes sense.
Well, this comes from a little bit of personal experience when I say this too, because as a kid, I had a brother who was not the nicest person to me at times. And that's just the way that he was as a kid, and the way that he was brought up as well. So he thought that, this is all he knew how to deal with. So he would sometimes, to put it, bluntly, maybe, and it's not the right term, but, bullying me at times. And dealing with that growing up and having that really affects a person as a kid. And so kids remember stuff, they remember things, and they take things with them until they're way into their adulthood, and it's hard to erase some of that stuff. So I think Amelia could in some ways have had an experience like that, where maybe for the most part she didn't have a great upbringing at times, and she's carried that with her, and maybe at one point someone told her, you are not worthy, and it was at the right time that it affected her. Like, for example, like, I remember one time, like I said, really shitty teenage years I had, but this is getting more personal. But I had a teacher tell me to my face that I was ugly in high school. And that stuck with me for a long time. It really hurt my self-worth.
They'd probably get sacked if that happened over here. It's
yeah, thinking back, I would have got up and walked out and reported that teacher, but I didn't know any better at the time. And maybe something like that happened to her, where it was the right time. She was young enough, and those things stick with people. So I think it's something. Maybe has something to do with that.
Yeah, it's I feel like it's very much like weighing on Amelia's character at the moment, where she's kind of trying to, like, not necessarily push it all onto Subaru, but she's very much, she's like changing her attitude like towards Subaru like drastically. Like she's going along with.
She seems way different.
Yeah,
than when she did when the series
like
started.
She's going along like with all the goofiness that Subaru does, like to like a crazy extent. And I feel like it's going to keep building until it's, or keep escalating would be a better word, until it gets to the point where Subaru, like, he has to intervene.
It almost feels like she's not there.
Yeah. There's a scene in chapter 68 which demonstrates that perfectly.
Spoilers.
But yeah, I guess we'll get to that later. But you're not wrong.
Yeah. Let's apply my own personal beliefs here. Don't get in a pity party about me.
Okay.
I'm good.
I won't pity you. I'll just give you Moe hugs.
Watermelon. Can I have watermelon?
We can split a watermelon together. We can pretend to be cute anime girls and blindfold each other.
Oh shit! I can't have watermelon because of my new diet.
Well,
it's gonna have to be apples, man. It's gonna have to be apples.
You can take a break for a day. You can start dieting tomorrow instead.
Well, in that case, give me some cheeseburgers.
I like some cheeseburgers. My name's Garfield. Yeah. I'm a carnivorous fellow. You better
put some extra high fructose corn syrup on my cheeseburger, Bo.
You better give me my cheeseburgers. I'll fucking punch you because I'm Liam Gallagher. I
want to have a heart attack by next week.
Oh dear. What was my next note? So there's something kind of weird as well about this chapter. So Subaru thinks that asking Amelia about her past wouldn't cause a change that's for the better. And I'm somewhat confused behind that logic. Like he said, he 100% like believes in Amelia and wants to do like what Rem did for him and do it for Amelia. But like, how can he do that for Amelia if like he won't talk to her about it? Like I feel like maybe like he still has this mindset that he has to figure it all out by himself, and he like can't ask anyone for help, sort of thing. Like he's not necessarily regressed, but he's kind of like that like what Rem did for him was almost like a patch fix. It wasn't like a. It didn't really save him, if you know what I mean.
And that was kind of like that's a big thing. Is like you can't rely on other people to fix your problems. You got to go out and fix it yourself. And that's that's what I had to do as well. So and you got to put in the hard work. You can have help. And I personally believe you shouldn't go through life alone, because you do need that help. And Subaru does need some help sometimes to figure it all out. And I think Subaru is definitely taking it all on his own, rarely asking for
think
help.
It's a good thing that Rem has gone from like the story now. If Rem remained, he would become just so over like reliant on her, like beyond belief. I feel like it's necessary for like his character development later.
It's a complicated thing what Subaru is trying to do without actually doing what he wants to do. It's like trying to solve a problem, like a math problem, without using any numbers. Maybe he could do it in the way he wants to do it, but it would take too long. Waste too much time.
And who's going to check the answer too? Like, well,
yeah, and in the end, it may not even work.
Exactly. It's so far, like the only thing we've ever like heard from Subaru about having a goal is that he wants to help Emilia get on the throne. Like he's implicitly stated that once, I think, and that's about it. He doesn't really have like any goals of his own. So he's just kind of. He's kind of like subject to he's being dragged along by the plot line in a sense, which I don't think is a good place for his character to be. But that's kind of
like your typo of Subaru.
My
Swabru.
Did I put
your typo?
Why did I put that?
Swabru. That's a great typo.
How did I spell that? I can't find it.
Suabru.
I can't see it. No, I still can't find it. Can you highlight it for me?
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, I see it now.
Swabru.
I guess
or Suabru.
Suabru. Oh dear.
It's not so weird.
If you notice as well, like every so often Emilia like calls for Subaru's name, and then she like immediately after like Subaru will say, "Oh yeah, what is it?" And then she'll go, "Oh, it's nothing." And I've noticed this a few times. I feel like it may have happened once in the anime too. I could be wrong on that, but definitely since we've got to the sanctuary, she's been trying to say something important.
Here's what's gonna happen.
Subaru, I'm actually a Futa. I've actually got the Futa fetish.
Not everyone's Futa. So here's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be great. So they're gonna be in a room sometime in the next couple chapters, and Subaru's gonna look at Emilia, and Subaru's gonna go, "What?" And then Emilia's gonna look at him, and it's all gonna click. And and then all you hear is just like, wow, wow, and Emilia goes, "You know, baby, you know, Subaru, you know, I'm a Futa."
I'm starting a band with Roswell. Gonna be his drummer.
Or it's just like super like, or it's just.
I don't know.
I don't know where this joke's going.
I think no, Emilia would be the bassist for Roswell's band. Roswell would be Michael Jackson.
Would Emilia be the bassist though?
I think so.
She'd be more of a keyboard player to me.
I can picture that.
I think Rim and Ram would be bassing.
Yeah.
And guitar.
Ram
would be lead
I
guitar.
should have thought of that, really.
We'd have to get someone for a bass because I don't know what a Ram is.
Remy, he keeps plucking our strings again. Knee Sama, punch him in the face.
I think Subaru would have to be the drummer. The lead singer would be Ross.
I don't know. What about that guy? Do you remember that guy in like the first few episodes where like Felt's like plays? He was like Old Man Rom. He'd be a fucking amazing.
Oh,
He'd be
yeah,
an
that
amazing
guy.
drummer.
I don't know. He's too bulky. I don't think he could do it.
I don't know. I just
Subaru,
picture him being a
he's
drummer.
light.
He just kind of has that. He's big. He just wants to sit down. So he's out of the drums, just go boom, boom, boom. Oh yeah, bit of exercise. Boom, boom, boom.
His body just doesn't seem like a drummer to me. He'd be way bigger than the drum set.
You won't have to put that much effort in. You just have to do a light little tap. Here's an interesting thing. So, not necessarily interesting, but like they left the sanctuary like 2 days earlier than last time. Like, I wonder what they're going to do in that time period, like before Elsa attacks. Like I don't think there's that much to be like. Subaru is obviously A, going to ask Frederica about Garfield, and B, he's going to try and get more answers out of Beatrice, like about the gospel, I imagine, or just other things in general. But those are the two things that Subaru's going to want to like get when he first goes there. But other than that, like, are they just going to do like a skip ahead so when Elsa attacks? Or I'm curious.
I think they're going to retread. They're going to go back over all the stuff. And I think it's going to be somehow different somehow. And I think the way it's different, I think, is going to help Subaru survive.
Maybe
Elsa just isn't there. Maybe Elsa realized she's so moe that she can't possibly be in this anime. She's now trying to figure out how to be in the new K-On!
Is the queen of moe. I've written to Naoko Yamada personally and said that if Elsa is not in the new K-On! Anime, that must happen because I demand it so. I will come over to Japan. And
if she's not in the anime, I will still demand it.
Yes! I'm highly unreasonable.
You haven't heard the last of me, Naoko.
So, I guess on to my next... God, this podcast is a weird thing.
Best ReZero podcast in the world.
Because it's the only one.
Because it's the only one.
Not because it's actually good. When I look back, it's probably terrible. I still can't believe people listen to this. Crazy.
Wow. Just in the middle of a podcast, just like, we should probably stop fucking doing the podcast. It sucks.
Yes, it is bad. But thanks for listening anyway. It's great for my self-esteem.
Oh my God.
So like in previous chapters, we've been told that about this faction that don't want to be liberated. And Lou says something that kind of gives some insight into this faction, even though we've still yet to like see this faction or get what they're about really. But I mean, this comment just kind of like it's like short, but it just kind of fits. So Lou says, in my case, I'm a special situation where I know nothing except this place, and just the thought of another place terrifies me. I often find. I was like, that's kind of I can get that. It kind of explains why people would be opposed. people do like familiarity.
Yeah, no, then familiarity is great, especially when you're old, like Louise.
Lars Ulrich.
You don't have a lot of movement in your body, and you're kind of breaking down. You're like a
gotta rely on
rose.
Osso for the piggyback. That was well, I did kind of like that comment that Subi made about can't you even carry a lolly granny? And
who would voice Louise in season 2?
I don't know.
That's what I want to know.
Dub or sub?
Sub. Or dub. I mean, he can go either. But I think, God, there's this voice that's in my head right now, and I can't place where the character.
Yeah, I'm thinking of something like rather moe, like.
Yeah, very moe.
That's like you have that kind of older voice to kind of play off like how they look, sort of thing. That doesn't.
It could be whoever plays Yuri Hirasawa from K-On!
Maybe. I kind of had. There's a character. I may be getting this wrong, but I think it's in Slow Start. There's a character in Slow Start that has a voice that I think. Or is it something else? I'm really drawing a blank on this one, but like a Moe, like older Moe character. You know what I mean?
Whoever
Do
voices
you know
Fujine in
what
Fate,
I mean?
I think Fujine is great. I mean, whoever voices Fujine in the Fate series, get her to voice Louise.
Louise. I've got a thought. So, what would happen if Subaru knocks someone out and dragged them by force through the barrier? Do you think that would work? Because if you think about it, the other members of the sanctuary wouldn't have really been able to try because they'd all pass out to just sort of go into the sanctuary. But it's never really been tested now that Subaru's arrived.
Yeah, what happens if someone just leaves? Just in general. I want to know. Give me the answers.
I don't know. It just kind of I don't know what got me thinking of this, but
that is a good question. It's probably a plot hole as well.
Yeah,
that they're actively avoiding.
Because when you think about it, like Amelia went through the sanctuary, she passed out, but there's nothing that stopped her actually going through it. So if like someone from the outside who's not a demi-human comes, like Subaru, for instance, like he could if he finds a way to knock Garfield out, which is highly unlikely, then you can drag him back to the mansion and get him to fight Elsa.
Maybe they all disintegrate. Maybe they just all disintegrate.
Maybe we'll find out from Etchy Donna in the future. Maybe not. You know, it's just something. Maybe. It's just something I pondered. I'm not sure why it hasn't been answered yet in like as far as I am in the web novel, but I just kind of pondered it when I was reading this chapter for some reason. Just kind of.
Wait, I thought you were the creator of ReZero.
Oh yes, I am Reki Kawahara. All hail! Bow before me.
The ReZero creator, Reki Kawahara. Yeah.
Oh, that greatness.
Sounds 100% correct, and no one will get mad at you saying that.
Moving on.
No one's angry.
Before I get a swarm on my Twitter condemning me and hating me, please be gentle. There was something that kind of sent chills down my spine this chapter, and it's that everyone inside the sanctuary is the property of the witch, like from the moment they enter, and like Louise even says like Amelia is no exception. I was like, whoa. Did that send chills down anyone else's spine? And like what the implications of that are?
No. Well,
maybe things are going according to Etchy Donna. Like if everything in the sanctuary is property, you know, of Etchy Donna.
Well, this just doesn't make sense.
Then so is Roswell.
So like,
and so is everything he's planning.
Going by this logic, if say I don't know, someone were to walk in with a wallet full of cash in my room, it is my domain.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, it is mine? I don't think that's how that works. So what I'm trying to say is, I think Etchy Donna, it's not actually her property. What's happening here is Etchy Donna is.
I wonder about that.
Kicking people in the shins and taking their wallets. And running away as fast as she can.
I guess it could also come down to like the translation as well, if they mean it literally, or if like, but because they can't leave, they've sort of. They also call it her experimental grounds, and like by forcing like the half-breeds to say they are now her plaything, sort of thing. I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting thing.
Since Etchy Donna knows a lot about a lot of things, do you think Etchy Donna is into Fuda?
Oh, do you not remember that scene where she appears at Subaru school and she says, "It's not like I'm dressed in a high school girl's outfit because I wanted to try clothes from another." Oh no, she said, "Oh, is it no? What it was." She says, "Oh, I only wanted to try on experience clothes from another world. It's not because I like this sort of thing or anything. Or I have a fetish for this." That was it. That was yeah. I bet she had some weird. I mean, she made Subaru drink the tea, man. I bet she'd be down for some kinky stuff.
Yeah, but Fuda. Do you think she's into Fuda?
No, that's more Amelia. That's more Amelia's the Fusa. That's her dark secret.
She's had a lot of things happen to her. She likes her stuff, man. She likes her stuff.
I haven't got many notes left. Most of it I kind of already talked about. Otto getting wrecked by the Subaru and Lou's combo. I just find it amusing though that they like Subaru and Lou's have this kind of like shared affinity, like bullying Otto, where like Otto tries to get some sympathy from Luz, and Luz just kind of joins over the Subaru, just taking the mick out of him. That was kind of amusing. That was like it kind of adds something to a somewhat stale.
I'll be
not
honest.
necessarily stale, but overused.
The one thing I'm really looking forward to in season 2, because it's totally fucking happening, is Garfield and Louise. Just because I want to see them animated. Like that's cool. Like they're weird characters. They
are, yeah. Like Louise seems almost. She doesn't seem like a person. Almost, she just seems like I am generic character A here to give you information sort of thing. I don't have a personality or like she occasionally see exhibits something of like a. I guess like a mother, not even a motherly figure.
I have a feeling to give her character. I could see them totally doing this because there's always in one of those popular shows every year, there's at least one character that does the cute stuff, but it doesn't really do anything within the story, I guess. And I think Louise may be the moe, like the character people meme about all the time.
Oh, I'm
calling it now.
I think people are going to make a lot of memes about Garfield actually. I for some reason I just picture it.
Especially when he's voiced by me.
Exactly, voiced by the Sea Tactics. Fucking mega.
Oh my god.
Gonna read.
Garfield is voiced by David Hayter. Metal Gear.
Oh, do you hear? David Hayter's gonna be doing the voice of Snake for the Smash thing.
Smash Bros. Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
Wasn't he?
I felt sad that he got shafted for Metal Gear Solid 5 in favour of Kiefer Sutherland. Like I like him in 24 and all.
It is Kiefer though.
Is it Kiefer?
But I mean, like, if like you're gonna like downgrade to someone, it's Kiefer. I mean, that's a good downgrade. That's one I accepted because I was like, all right, it isn't him. I don't like. He's not gonna be smoking cigars all the time. And
that's true.
Have, like, his throat is gonna be as wide as like a pencil.
I may be looking at this through like my rose tinted glasses because of how big like Metal Gear was for me when I was a kid. Like when I'd get home, I would just like play it all the time. I was obsessed with it. I must have completed like the games like at least like 20 times, like, especially like number 2 and 3. I think
I can see why Hideo maybe got tired of it because his voice by the end of his tenure. The way Snake's voice progressed was so different.
I also I heard a thing as well that like Hideo Kojima didn't even want David Hayter as like Snake to begin with. He always wanted like someone else to fit the role, but he could never they could never find anyone. So they just I think they went with him, and like there's this story. I don't know how true it is, but apparently like he was always like looking for a way to kind of like get rid of him, which is a real shame. But
director's vision, I guess. Kind of sucks. To me, I would have stuck with him.
Yeah, I hate to say I hate using this saying, but he kind of, or this word even, but he has become an icon of sorts. Like he is.
Yeah, in terms of like the way he will be remembered. Yeah, for sure.
And I really don't like using the word iconic either. It's used overused ridiculously by the media to the point it's lost all meaning. But I think in his role as Snake, he is incredibly iconic.
Well, this is all for the Snake Zero podcast.
I think I've run out of notes now.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the podcast. Make sure to like this podcast. Make sure to subscribe to get more weekly ReZero podcasts. And hit the bell icon as well. And go over to Garfield's channel and subscribe to him and tell him to upload videos because we all want videos from him. He's the slice of life senpai. He's great. He's kawaii desu.
And I still haven't made a video today.
Follow him on Twitter as well at Dreamo.
Yeah, I post funny things on Twitter sometimes. Yeah.
You can follow me at CTacticsFTW. That is my old username before I went just to CTactics. I'm contemplating changing my name to just Boob Tactics because I feel like it just fits better.
Not Boob Tactics, Lewd Tactics.
Lewd Tactics. There you go. Lube Tactics. What about that?
I don't know. You're getting into
lube makes everything better.
You're getting into slippery grounds.
Organic lube. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Use it on anything. Use it on my burgers, my hot dogs.
Amelia,
just lube Amelia up, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. You're lubed.
Amelia, stop looking at the footer. Please look at me instead.
God damn it. Fuda is a thing now.
Yeah.
We've made Fuda a relevant thing in the realm of
ReZero
things. Yes. Everyone's a Fuda in ReZero except for Subaru, and that's the nightmare that he lives.
Subaru. Subaru.
Swabru.
Swabru.
He's so suave, but he's also Subaru.
The next James Bond.
He's Swabru.
He's going to do that Sean Connery or Roger Moore impression.
Someone should make a fan art of Swabru and what Swabru would look like. Put that in the comments below, or
share it. I don't have any artist friends, unfortunately, but it would be cool to see. Yeah?
I've got some artistic friends. His name is Garfield.
Are you sure you don't mean autistic?
Wow. Anyways, that's it for the ReZero podcast. We'll see you next week when we talk about Chapter 31. Bye-bye.
Bye. I love Amelia.